Well, hello all. It's end of October 2016, and it's about time I think I started trying to grow some dahlias again. This is a garden, my garden. It looks great at the moment. The sun's out, it's about 12 o'clock. You'll see what the biggest problem is going to be. I'll take you up there. As you can see, the grass has really done well this year due to the drought and a couple of other problems, or long periods of dryness rather than drought. But it's about 80 odd foot. I want to grow in the garden. I don't want to mess about on allotments and things like that because it's just too much time. I haven't got the time. So it looks like I can just about shoehorn. It's a lovely mess up here because this is where everything's been dumped while I was house renovating. Shoehorn about 150, maybe 180 in the garden, up to probably, if I'm allowed, somewhere up here. I've got the start of it, a greenhouse. I managed to get one of those for nothing, and when I took it down and moved it here, it's a terrace house, so I had a job to get the end panels through, so I've got to take those apart to get them through. It looks quite sunny and it looks nice, but here's the problem. Obviously the leaves are falling off it now. 1 and 2. So we've got a very large oak there and a very large ash. So it's going to be a real challenge, I think is the word. Possibly an impossibility at the same time, but I want to have a go. If nothing comes out of it, nothing lost, we'll just try. But the problem really is the size of these trees. There's the ash. Oh, keeps going up. Unfortunately, they've both got tree preservation orders on them, and you can see by that one that really does reach over several gardens. I've applied to try to get the right hand one took down, fused, maybe trimmed. So here's the start of it. Hopefully by this time, end of May, early June, I'll be planting some dahlias. But I just thought I'll let you see the battle up front. Not quite sure what to grow yet. I'm tempted to go down the plum route. Also tempted to try to grow a few others, but very much in contrast to what I used to do. But it's about time I got my hands dirty again and grew a few plants. So it could be a complete waste of time, and I might get something out of it. You can also see the lovely Leylandii hedge at the back of the garden. The greenhouse I've got is a 6x8, which should be more than enough to produce a few plants I need. I'm thinking of putting it up in this top right hand corner, really because we're going to get problems from these conifers at the back here anyway. So I'll use the space as much as I can. Where it's not going to be any good for growing dahlias. The temporary greenhouse, which is really a lawnmower and garden furniture store, will go, and the metal shed that's got all my tools and things in will probably push back to the back corner there. Luckily bonfires night's coming, so we'll have a little burn up of all the wood and stuff in the corner there. You will notice that the garden does slope quite heavily from left to right. So probably going to be raised beds and try to get the ground above these tree roots, which really do run everywhere, certainly underneath. You can see how they've lifted up out the ground, and I'm just going to have to raise it up and get above them. It's sort of permanent rain at the moment with the leaves falling down, but at least when they do fall down we get some temporary light for the winter, so it should be alright, you know, propagating up to early spring before they come fully back into leaf. Any great suggestions other than don't bother? Be greatly received. And we can see the roots that are coming out from these trees there, and even the size of them. These are very, very big trees. So any ideas, let me know. Well, I made a very small start, and it's only where are we now, about 11th of November. and the ground was rock hard at the top, and as you can see, the leaves have started falling off the trees now as well. So there's still a fair few on there, but most of them are off. Hopefully today I've got a good day. It's not raining. I've been too busy to really get on with this, so I'll crack on and see how we get going today. I've managed to get some recycled sleepers to use as a surround, so hopefully that'll give me a bit more height and make life a bit easier. Just got to get the job done. Well, that's the frame up. Believe it or not, it is level. It's just the fence behind it isn't. So I'm just going to clean the frame down next time I'm out. It's starting to get dark now. Clean all the glass and put the glass in. Then I'll finish digging out inside. I want to lose a lot of that soil in there. And I've got some hardcore to go in the bottom. And then I'll just gravel it so I've got a nice free draining base. So it works out and I can get it done in time. Now it's the 23rd of October, correction, November. Doesn't time fly. Managed to get the glass in the greenhouse today, so at least that's sealed up. Just got to put a bit of stone in the floor, which is all I'm going to do, just so it's got a gravel floor, but all the glass is in. That's half a chance, and then I can start collecting up some tubers, which are hopefully waiting for me. Get a bench built, get some propagation done. It's all going to be just in time, I think. I don't think I'm going to have much time to spare as far as wanting to get stuff going, but I've only got as much time as I had. Went to the allotment site today, saw an allotment, and duly paid the extortionate fee of £15 for the year, which made me laugh. Instead of the trees looking a little bit barer now, and hopefully that's going to get a bit of a prune soon. This one's got a bit more to come, but hopefully it'll be done, and then we've got to start on this lot, see if we can make some dahlia beds out of it. We shall see. I'm not holding my breath too much for great results out of this, but we can only try. I've got my company in the garden with a dog, it seems. 30th of November, finally got another few hours to try to knock out some benches, so I thought I'd better stick some bubble wrap around the outside first. Quite hard to get to. Luckily Kevin Moore's given me a load of timber and sheet supply, so I should better get some benching out here. Plan is big bench on the right hand side for propagating, and then I'll have a narrower bench on the left as the door opens from left to right for rooting. So the tubers are going on the right and plants around, rooting on the left, which is shadier, so they're not going to get the sun on them. Just going to go and beat the dog and barking at shadows and see if we can get this done. Well, there's a new plot up on the allotment. Finally got an allotment again. Decent soil, 5-rod plot, so I should get what I need in there. Currently got a bit of raspberries at the end, which I'm sure they'll be going. And a big clump of rhubarb there. But the soil a bit stony, but it looks in good nick, so I'm happy with that. And apparently I get deliveries of cow manure end of June, early July. Nice and rotted, so that'll be handy as well. So here we go, let's have a start. So out of the lumps of timber that are attached to the pallets that I've got, it's just made a basic leg structure along the back. Made it quite high because I'm tall and they always end up getting backache. It's just to go on there. I've knocked up out of the 2 sheets of 4-foot ply, just these trays, which are 4 foot long each, with a sort of 4-inch, 5-inch upstand. I think it's 4-inch. It should make a box, so I can then line that with polythene, put some sand and run the cables in there, and hopefully they will then fix just on top of the legs. getting on. It's only about an hour and a half to get to that stage, so should get these up today. So that's the greenhouse, mostly insulated. I did run out. You can see the benches from the outside. I did run out of bubble wrap, so I've still got that roof section to do, but the rest is done. Benches are in. They're big enough. The trays at the back are sort of big nursery trays. I tend to use those for the tubers, give them a bit more depth than the mushroom trays. And I can get 8 of those to one side. How big they are. They're what they use for the Dutch plants. So I should get probably 2 varieties per tray, and 8 on the bench, probably equivalent of about 16 mushroom trays. Not acres of room between the benches, but it's propagating, not having parties in. And a couple of bars across there is just so I can rest like a potting tray or something on there when I'm potting up. And then this side I should get my bit of pods on there, just about, get 2 I think on one side. So rooting on the left, cuttings on the right, and I should try to do it in batches, so that I'll do one big batch rooting, and then where the tubers were will become an area for plants, and likewise for where the propagators are. As you can see, they're quite high, so there's plenty of storage room underneath. I'm about ready to go and rescue my tubers from the greenhouse of Dave and get them in here. Hopefully get this bench up and running for New Year. The ground on the other hand is yet to be done, as you can see. So I'll work on that in the new year. Priority is really just to get the tubers and get them growing, and I'll work on this through the next 3 months. Probably, knowing me, be February, March, and panic in April. But I'm sure it'll get done. Excuse the voice, it's probably even worse than ever. Got a bit of a stinking cold. So I've finished bubble wrapping. I've collected the tubers, or not my tubers but Dave's tubers, that's given me from him, and I've got a bit of pods or the trays on the side. Once I finish with the tubers, I'll put the sides and top on. I've just left a bubble skirt under the bench, purely so that I can do that as I leave, which just means if I'm heating the air, I'm only heating the top half of the greenhouse rather than the bottom as well. Nice cough. And I've stoned the floor, so that's all clean and ready to go. And the varieties I've managed to get hold of and I'm growing, as a giant, will be Canora Valentine. I couldn't not grow Dave's choice really, seeing as Dave's had it his own way for the last couple of years. For the miniature ball, managed to get hold of a couple of tubers of Rycroft Blackberry, just to have a look at a large pom. I think there'd be something for the future, maybe not yet, but one day. Be lost without growing a bit of Girl at the Twilight. Oakwood Goldcrest for a medium semi. Mars and Suzanne miniature deck. Mary's Jamander. See, these need a bit of a tidy up, but I'll do those soon. Winholm Diane small deck. Marston Karen as another miniature deck. Eastford Moonlight, not ever grown it, but tend to be a case of if you can't beat them, join them. For a medium semi, and I shall try a different feeding technique with those, which I believe Dave tried this year and seemed to have some results. We'll see that later. And Canora Challenger as a large. I've got a couple of oddball bits of poms as well, just to get a bit of stock going, but that's the tubers. It's basically 3 of each, and hopefully I can get somewhere, or I'll be growing somewhere between 20 and 30 plants of each of those varieties. So hopefully from 3 tubers I'll get there. I'm going to start them off a bit earlier than normal, just to give me a bit of a chance to multi plant if I need to. So the next job then is to turn this into a sand bed. I've got the sand ready. I've got a short cable, so I'm going to do 1/3 on one cable, 2/3 on the other. I'm just waiting for the other cable to turn up in the post. It should have done this week, and it hasn't. Up here is a tray of Oakwood Goldcrest that I've just set up ready to go on heat for Dave as he's going away, and he wants to get them started, so I offered to get them started in here and give them back hopefully with some shoots on. So we'll get this sand bed going, and then we can get some stuff set up. So that's the sand bed done, certainly up to this end anyway. That bit there, waiting for the cable. So I've just put a decent layer of sand in the bottom, put the cables down on top, and then as you can see a reasonable depth of sand on top as well, just to help spread the heat. I've got the thermostat cable there, and it's turned on, and that's just plugged in underneath there into a thermostat. Around about 18 degrees, which should give me about 65 degrees Fahrenheit bed temperature, or soil temperature, when I put the probe in the soil. So we're ready to get a few tubers on the sand bed now, get them awake. So that's that done. Just set them all up, trying to fit the ones that I wanted or thought were going to be as quick to shoot as others in the same tray. So I've got Dave's Choice and Valentine and Diane in there, which are all fairly similar in their habits of shooting. Blackberry, Mirage Demander and Mars and Karen. A couple of odd poms in there. These for Moonlight and Challenger in that tray. Those are all pretty big tubers. Until I can get my other cable in, which will go there. I've just dropped the Oakwood, so Dave's tray of Oakwood and mine, with the Go at the Twilight and Mars and Suzanne in it, inside the litter pod. One of them that I've dusted off. Just used the two rings around it just to give it a bit more air ventilation, but when I'm ready to take cuttings, then I'll slot the top one on this one here, and use that for propagating. So we're up and running. It's about the 15th of December, I think, roughly. A bit early, and normally I always start the 1st of January, but I thought while we're here, and I've got to get up to 30-40 plants or cuttings at least off of 2 or 3 tubers, I'd start a bit earlier and just get things underway. That's the easy bit. All I've got to do now is prepare a garden and an allotment for them to grow in. And looking at the garden at the moment, there's a fair bit to do. See you next time.